I have a lot of bikes, and those rubber-coated hooks aren't always the best option for storing bikes safely in small spaces. So I designed this hanging bike rack to be able to keep a couple bikes in a tiny basement storage room. It's dirt cheap, simple to build, and easy to use. All right, so here's a better look at it outside of the dungeon. You can actually buy a version of this that I copied from Amazon for about 70 bucks. And I'll leave a link in the description down below. But this is super easy, really cheap, and works great. As a matter of fact, one of the bikes that I've got that you saw earlier is a 40-year-old Schwinn Deluxe Varsity that, I kid you not, weighs 45 pounds. And it's been hanging on that rack for about 3 years. So basically, it just is designed so that the front tire can just sit in there. And I also, by using 2 sets of hinges, it can swing a full 180 degrees on the wall to allow you to, push it out of the way. And if you've got multiple bikes side by side, you can kind of fan them out of the way to get the bike that you want and then push them back. So let me show you how I designed this so you can go ahead and build a couple for yourself. All right, so all you're gonna need is a 2-foot by 2-foot piece of the cheapest thin material you can find. And this is 1/8-inch masonite that I had left over from a dry erase board that I made. You'll need about a little less than 4 feet of 3/4-inch plywood ripped down to the width of your tire. And you'll need 2 sets of super cheap hinges and, of course, some screws. So let me go ahead and show you how I laid it out. So the first thing you want to do is you want to mark off a 3/4-inch strip on the side that's going to go to the wall. The distance from the wall is 24 inches and the height at where it attaches to the wall is 19 inches. So now we're going to go ahead and lay out for the size of your wheel. We've already got this line that we drew on the back side, which is where the back piece is going to screw in. Now we're going to take and measure up 3 inches from the bottom edge and make a mark on the front. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the wheel, we're going to lay it on here so that it touches this point and just touches the back. And depending on the size of the wheel, if it's a 26-inch wheel, it's going to extend below. And if it's a 29er, it's going to be quite a bit higher just because of the larger diameter. So for a 26, like I said, it's going to end up being extending below a little bit. So what you would do is you would go ahead and line up your wheel and make and draw even with the bottom of the tire all the way around. And if you have a larger wheel like this, you'll just have to find that same point and it's going to look more like this. Now once you've done that, I just traced a line from this point to that 19 inches. So once you've got this, just go ahead and cut along this line, take this piece, flip it over, and make a mirror image. So now that you got these pieces, you need to cut the 3/4-inch plywood. And I just ripped a 4-foot piece, 2.5 inches wide. This piece is 19 inches, and it's got a 45-degree bevel on the top edge. This piece, which mounts to the wall, is 19 inches and it could just be straight cut. And then I cut 2 pieces that are 3 inches long at the point and have a 45-degree bevel on the end. The purpose of these is to actually hold the wheel in place. So we're going to place one at the front, even with the bottom, lining up with that line we traced. And then one in the back, you'll just line it up at the bottom and slide it over until it just touches the line that we traced earlier. And the last piece is that piece that's got the 45-degree cut on the top. That's going to mount on the back, and it should be pretty close to lining up with the top edge of the side. And that's the hard part. So the last step is to make sure you go ahead and attach those 4 hinges to the other 19-inch piece. And the easiest way to keep them straight, and these are 3/4 by 2.5 inch hinges, is to make the edge of the hinge flush with the back side of the plywood. And if you just flip it 180 degrees, the other hinges mount the exact same way. So you want to mount them with the barrel facing out, and so that they're oriented like this. Now it's just a matter of finding a place to put it and mount it to the wall with the hinge like that. I know this isn't rocket science, but since I had everything I needed, I probably spent $5 in materials. I think I bought the hinges. If you needed to buy everything from scratch, you might spend $10, $15. So it's not complicated, it's not pretty, but I like cheap, simple solutions to problems like storing a couple of my 8 bikes. So if you have any questions about anything in the video that I didn't cover, please leave it in the comment section down below. If you like this, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're like me and refuse to act your age, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.